But I have 4 key components that I use. I want to inspire you that if you follow these 4 techniques, sell more commercial in any of the systems you're doing, you will be successful. All done painting the fence. Come check it out. He's like, oh, go ahead and do what you're doing. I'll go check it out in a moment. So Stevie goes and does what he's doing. His father goes out there and looks at the fence. He says, son, I need you to come here. Let me show you something. And he takes him through the house and walks him in the backyard. And he goes, what's wrong with this situation? He's like, nothing, Dad. I painted the outside of the fence. It looks great. He goes, yeah, but you didn't paint the inside of the fence. He's like, Dad, why the hell would I paint the inside of the fence? He's like, nobody sees it but us. He goes, that's the point. Roll the tape, a little longer down in the years. You got Steve Jobs, creator of Apple. He's sitting in a meeting. New MacBook Air is coming out. He's sitting there with all the design team. And he says, I want you to make the outside of this computer so sleek, so sexy, so beautiful. And he stops. And he says, but I want you to make the inside so beautiful it makes us cry. One of the designers throw their hands up in the air. Steve, nobody's going to see the inside of the computer, but we will. Inspiration. Next slide. I just told that story to you for inspiration. The process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. What I want to do in the next hour is I want to inspire you to sell more commercial roofs and give you some basic tools that are actually very simple that have brought me to the place that I'm at in the industry. I have 4 key components that I use that have made me super successful after paying all the dumb tax, making all the mistakes, and failing my way to success that I use on a daily basis, that if you follow these 4 techniques in any of the systems you're doing, you will be successful. Next slide. All right, topic number 1. Know your client. This is so important that you know your client. Who are you marketing to? Who are you selling to? And why? I have a specific way that I'm going to market to each one of those clients and how I get myself to those clients and how I'm able to get project procurement and fulfillment with those clients. So for instance, let's look at the multifamily. What am I doing for multifamily that's made me successful in that arena? One of the number 1 things that I've done in multifamily is I have sponsored multifamily investment groups. I try to put myself in my client's shoes in everything that I do. Okay, multifamily investor. What is the thing that's continually going through their head? ROI, return on investment. I know that the people that I'm talking to want to make money off of every single thing that they touch. So my job to keep them happy is to make sure they're making money when they're doing business with me. What does that mean? That means that I don't have to be the cheapest, like the gentleman that's one of my clients said earlier, but I have to be a fair price, and I have to look at what it is that they're doing and try to fit it within that box. So if they're going to C or B class property, they're probably not going to go and start putting Grand Sequoia and stone-coated steels on these buildings. Let's just use pitched roofs and asphalt. I may be shopping more along the lines of, a GAF Timberline. I may be, Natural Shadow. I may be just a basic entry Tamco. Next one. Okay, so building owners. This one's really good. Building owners and churches. We're going to put those 2 together. People ask me all the time, how do I get into commercial? Building owners and churches. When people ask me, how do I get into commercial? I tell them all the time, you have to create the opportunity. The first step is getting on the roof.
I have a lot of experience with this property, got a great history, and I want to help you solve the problem. That's not how Jonathan actually started his relationship with me. The real way to start a relationship with your potential prospects is to start by solving a small problem. That's it. Solve a small problem. Don't make it complicated.
If you're looking to get into selling commercial roof systems, and you want to know what to target, where you can be very successful and have a quicker turnaround in this long game play, it is churches and owner-operated standalone businesses. Chiropractic offices, laundromats, dentist practice, churches. Now, why do I say that? Because you can get the decision maker on site. So now you can get the person that's making the decisions. You can deal directly with them. It's not such a large scale, that you're worried about, I'll come to you, that you're worried about, are they going to have a PA? What's the board going to say? Do I have to go to a board meeting? And what's the other part of this? Because we talked about earlier, we had a couple different feedbacks on insurance paperwork. Joe was like, hey, I never get the insurance paperwork. I personally did one claim last year. Paul said, hey, I don't get the insurance paperwork. And the magician back here, he gets it every time. So, which is awesome. So look at this for a second. If I'm in an owner-occupied building, like a church or a standalone business, and it's my building, it's my baby, just like my house, most of the time those people want to do everything on the scope of work. They want it to look amazing. That's their business. And they're willing to turn over the claim to you immediately. So now you have smaller project, easy to get on, high margin yield and return, not a lot of liability that can put you out of business, and direct dealing with the owner that's an operator right there on site. So what I want, 4 key components that I use, I want to inspire you that if you follow these 4 techniques, sell more commercial, in any of the systems you're doing, you will be successful.